He promised 10% daily returns. It was a trap. What if someone told you they could grow your money by 10% every single day? Not every year, not every month. Every day. It sounds impossible. And yet thousands of people believed it. Not because they were careless, but because everything about the offer felt real, structured, and even safe. People didn't just invest a few dollars. Some put in their life savings. Others borrowed money just to join. And for a while, it looked like the easiest money anyone had ever made. Balances were rising, withdrawals were working, confidence was growing. Then one day, everything stopped. No warnings, no explanations, just silence. And by the time people realized what had happened, it was already too late. The perfect pitch. The scam didn't start with hype, it started with trust. It was introduced through private groups, personal messages, and word of mouth. That alone made it feel more exclusive, more legitimate. The person behind it didn't look like a criminal. He looked like a professional, clean social media profiles, confident speaking style, and a story that made sense. He claimed to have access to a special trading system, something automated, something advanced, something ordinary investors couldn't access on their own. The pitch was simple. You invest your money, the system trades for you, and you receive a fixed daily return. No stress, no effort, just profit. And because it was presented calmly, without pressure, people didn't feel like they were being sold anything. They felt like they were being invited into an opportunity. The first investors? In the beginning, only a few people joined. They were cautious. They tested the system with small amounts, $100, maybe $200. And then something unexpected happened. The returns came in, right on time. 10%, just like promised. At first, it felt too good to be true. But then withdrawals worked. Money actually moved back into their bank accounts. That changed everything. Because once people see real results, doubt disappears. And when doubt disappears, belief takes its place. The spread. The early investors didn't stay quiet. They shared their success. Screenshots of profits started circulating online. Messages like, "This is working," and "You're missing out," appeared everywhere. Private chats turned into communities. Communities turned into movements. People who had never invested before were suddenly entering the market. Not because they understood it, but because they trusted the people who were already in. And that trust spread faster than any advertisement ever could. The escalation. As more money entered the system, the pressure to invest more increased. People who started with small amounts began adding larger sums. 100 turned into 1,000. 1,000 turned into 10,000. Some investors even took loans because they believed they had found something rare, something powerful, something that could change their financial future. And every successful withdrawal reinforced that belief. The system didn't just promise returns, it delivered them, at least in the beginning. What was really happening? Behind the scenes, there was no advanced trading system, no secret algorithm, no hidden financial strategy. The entire operation was built on a simple structure. New investors' money was used to pay earlier investors. As long as new people kept joining, the system worked. Returns looked real. Accounts kept growing. Withdrawals continued. But nothing was being generated. No profit, no investment gains. Just money being recycled through the system. And that meant one thing. It could not last forever. The breakdown. The moment new investments slowed down, the system began to weaken. Withdrawals started taking longer. Excuses appeared. Technical issues. System upgrades. Temporary delays. At first, people stayed calm. After all, the system had worked perfectly before. But then delays turned into days. Days turned into weeks. And the excuses stopped. Messages went unanswered. Accounts froze. The platform became inaccessible. And suddenly, the person who had built all that trust disappeared. No explanation. No accountability. Just gone. Why people believed it. This scam wasn't successful because people were naive. It was successful because it was designed to feel believable. It used trust instead of pressure. It used proof instead of promises. It used real payments to build confidence. And most importantly, it used time. Because the longer something works, the more real it feels. By the time the system collapsed, people weren't questioning it anymore. They were depending on it. The warning sign. Looking back, the signs were always there. Guaranteed daily returns are not realistic. No legitimate investment can promise fixed profits without risk. Lack of transparency is another red flag. If you don't understand how money is being made, that's a problem. And if the system depends on new investors to survive, it's not sustainable. These signs don't always look obvious in the moment, but they become clear once you know what to look for. How to protect yourself. The best way to avoid scams like this is to slow down. Take time to question everything. Ask where the returns are coming from. Look for real evidence, not just screenshots. And never invest money you cannot afford to lose. If something promises consistent, high returns with little effort, step back. Because real financial growth takes time, risk, and understanding. Anything that removes those elements is not an opportunity. It's a trap. Final thought. The most dangerous scams don't force you to believe them. They give you reasons to believe. They show you results. They build your trust. They reward you just enough to keep you invested. And by the time the truth appears, it's already too late. This wasn't just about money. It was about how easily confidence can be built and how quickly it can be destroyed. And right now, similar systems are still operating, still growing, still convincing people that easy money exists. If you want to stay ahead of scams like this, subscribe to Scam Ledger. Because the more you understand how these traps are built, the harder it becomes to fall into them. And remember, the biggest financial mistake isn't losing money. It's believing something that was never real in the first place.